Traders, welcome. I'm sorry for, actually, we're just on time here. Thanks so much for joining. We really appreciate you coming out today for this Capitalize AI webinar exclusive for crypto traders. So as most of you know, we partner with Binance and FTX. And again, we appreciate you taking time out to be here. So traders, during this webinar, if you have any questions, pop them on the question box or the chat box. You'll find somewhere on the screen here in front of you. Let's dive straight into it. So we're currently now on the Capitalize AI page. And we're just going to go straight here, from here and log in. And a reminder, guys, let me know if there are any issues with the screen or my voice. Let me know on chat, and just give me a quick hi on chat for the traders that are here. So here we can find all our partners, and today we're going to let's go to our Binance platform, and let's log in. We're going to be backtesting, or optimizing backtest rather, and we're going to be setting up some smart notifications. So there we are. We're logged in. It's actually, I'm logged in on another screen, so that's brought me straight in. Most of you will obviously have to log in. And the first page you'll see here is the examples page, where you traders can get some inspiration from. And let's just get TradingView up here for a moment and have a look at Bitcoin here, hitting a support level around 30,000, and it looks like it's maybe bouncing back up. And this is actually the first thing I want to go through very quickly before we look at some strategies and look at optimizing them, is just using smart notification with Capitalize AI. Most of you traders have had that feeling where you've walked away from the chart, or it's just slipped your mind a few assets, and then you've come back a couple of hours or a couple of days later, it's hit a resistance level or support level, or a point where you maybe had wanted to get in on the trade. So with Capitalize AI, you can set up these smart notifications, and we can go ahead right now. Let's leave Bitcoin for the moment. Let's go have a look at Matic. Matic has been rising drastically this year. And if we're going to set up some smart notifications, remember, you can set up smart notifications for indicators as well, or price action. But let's just have a look at how we'd set up a notification in a real world scenario where we had, let's say, some support and resistance lines. We could probably call that a support and resistance line. Remember, it is subjective. And I'll just set these up very quickly. Here we are. So these may be some points where you may want to maybe not just get into the market, but have a look at what's going to happen next. And you can set these notifications up on Capitalize on our platform. So as soon as a price hits a support or resistance, you'll be notified of it. So if we were looking at Matic, and you can see Matic came down to a really nice support and resistance level around this area. Remember, it is subjective, but we could probably have set up a notification for this. And the way we would do it is, we can see the value here is 1.012. And probably when Matic gets up to about this resistance level, approximately, let's say 2.5, you may want to be notified about it. So let's go ahead, and we're going to go to create new strategy. And we're going to start the notification strategy off with a simple notify me. So notify me if, let me get my syntax correct first. If Matic, let's go USDT. I think we're looking at USD there, but let's have a look. It should be similar. Okay, yeah, let's just, okay, the lines are actually there. So we could actually look at rather 0.0 99, let's say, for the smart notification there, and 2.4. So we can go to capitalize and we can just set it up. Notify me if Matic crosses below 0.99. And I'm going to go ahead and click next here. And remember, with notifications, you don't have any exits. You don't have to name your strategy. We'll name it for you if you don't, but I'll just call this Matic below 0.99. And we'll just run live. And then while this is running, I also want to monitor the top, the resistance line here. So we'll just go at about 2.5. We'll want to know. So notify me if Matic, and we'll use USDT, crosses above 2.5, we said. And we'll click next. And we can go ahead and simulate this. I'm not going to name this strategy. We'll give it a name for it. So we have those set up. So if you're looking at one asset, or let me know on the chat, guys, how many are you guys trading with a variety of assets? Are you only trading on one asset? And this is an easy way for you to keep track of where the prices are, and you'll be notified. And then perhaps you may want to start watching the market and enacting some actions as you see the price move. And you can do this with a variety of assets. We set 2 notifications up there really quickly. We could just go, let's say, to YFI USDT. This actually came down to a really nice support level a couple days ago, somewhere around there. Resistance there, support, like almost perfect support there. So this is something that you can take advantage of in capitalize. So if YFI USDT crosses below, let's say 30,000, you may want to know about it. And you can see it's bounced quite nicely and it's moved up. So this is a really good way for you traders to stay in touch with the assets you're trading with, where they are. And even if you're taking a break from trading, or you can't be in front of the computer, at least you'll be notified of what's happening. And this widget is monitoring the current hit. So you can see we're obviously we're in the middle, plus minus of Matic. Oh, we're more closer to the resistance line at the top, but the moment one of those conditions are met, you're going to be notified of that. Great. So traders, let's go back to capitalize, and we'll go to the My Strategies page now, where we can see the strategies, and we can see the notifications here running. And as soon as they're met, the conditions are met, you'll be able to, you'll be notified of that. Just note that once a condition is met, it's going to go to your stopped list. So all you'll have to do is just go to your stopped list and click on the control panel and just select plays. So every time a notification comes through and you want to keep that notification going, for example, if you feel that those are the lines for the next while, and that's when you want to be notified, then you'll just select play every time the notification completes, every time it's met. And that'll keep you traders notified of where you are. And remember, you don't only have to use, like I have here, support and resistance. You could use normal strategies with that, with indicators, price action, and so on. Great, traders. Let's get moving on to some strategies, and we're going to be looking at a couple of strategies. We're going to have a look at how to optimize them. And then we're going to have a look at running. We'll take one of the best performing strategies, and we'll try run it through a group of assets, and we'll see what comes out of there. And guys, you're being really quiet. Let me know you're here on the chat. Give me a hi, and let's get moving. So let's create our first strategy, and let's just go with an indicator. So let's say if YFI, what we were on, let's say crosses below the lower, we'll use a Bollinger Band here, and we can go 1 hour There we are, YFI USDT. Let's leave it at that and then say then buy 100 USDT worth of YFI. So our first strategy, let's just go with one indicator and one condition. We're just looking for the price to cross below. You could go by a delta, a certain amount, but for here, we'll just use the crossover and we'll click next. And for our first strategy, let's use the same indicator, except let's just use the middle BB. So let's go close position if YFI USDT crosses above the middle Bollinger Band. And remember that anytime you select an indicator, you can change the parameters at the top. We're using the 1 hour Bollinger Band here, and we'll click next. And here on the confirmation page, I'll just name this YFI below BB low. And we're going to go ahead and simulate this so we can try get better results. And traders, when you're backtesting, remember you don't have to stay on the backtest page. You can keep running your strategies. This is really important to note. Our backtest uses 1 minute data. It's 1 minute historical data, the open, high, low, and close of the 1 minute bars. Obviously very different to our notification strategies or our simulation or even our live strategies that use live tick data updated multiple times a second. So we're going to let this run here, and while it's running, we don't have to stay here. We want to try different approaches. So either we're going to change the entry or the exit to keep one of them constant, so we can see if we're getting a better strategy or not. So for the first strategy, let's leave this constant, and let's change the exit. So instead of using the indicator, let's just use profit and loss. So at profits of 10% or loss is 5%. Let's see how that plays out. And I'm just going to go ahead and backtest this. And this is a quick way for you traders to optimize your strategy while they're running. Keep going. And, you know, if you have exits you normally use or entries you normally use, and then adjust from there. So here, instead of at profits, let's go at trailing stop. So at trailing stop of 5%. Okay, great. And let's click next, and let's go ahead and backtest. And once these backtests have run, then we can go have a look and see what the results were like. So the easiest way to do that is to go to the My Strategies page. And here we're going to go to the backtests. Okay, so let's have a look at the 3 backtests that we did run here on this first round. So we kept the entry the same. The only thing we changed were the exits, and the first exit, okay, we got minus 15% P&L. That's not great. We're looking better with the other 2 here, but let's wait for them to finish. And then, you know, once you find a good strategy to use, then you can start testing it on other assets. And on the next strategy, we'll create a strategy and we'll try run it through a group of assets and see how it comes out. Okay, so this completed here, which we got 7.62%, which still doesn't look spectacular. But that's up from the first strategy, and this one's actually looking much better. So with the trailing stop, if we let the strategy just flow instead of stopping at a profit and loss, it seems to have been better for this strategy, although it's still running. So anything could happen. And guys, remember, if you have any questions, pop them onto the chat while we go about this. Great. So let's let this run, and then we're going to go on to the next strategy. And the next strategy we'll try better. It looks like we're actually bettering it here, but we're going to try better it even more. And then we're going to try run it through a group of assets. So let's see what assets actually work well with this strategy. And okay, so we've actually managed to go up just by changing the exits. And obviously, if you like the strategy, you can just clone it and run it over a group of stocks. We're actually going to do that next. Traders, we need to get moving on because I've got a few more strategies to run. So that's our first strategy. We're going to go back to create a new strategy. And if there are any traders here that are new to Capitalize, that have never used Capitalize, let me know about it on the chat box. Great. So let's go ahead and create another strategy. And we used our first strategy in strategy with an indicator. Let's here just go for some price action. See what we can get, and let's run it over a group of stocks. So let's go for it. Let's use a different asset. Let's use BNB, let's say USDT. And we're going to use the price. So let's say if the price is below the current month high by 10%, let's say. So the current month high by at least 10%. So we just want to look for a price fall here. And then we can buy 100 USDT worth, let me get my syntax right there, of BNB USDT. And let's go ahead and let's leave that as our entry. We'll use one here. Let's see if we can get some decent results. Take the best strategy and let's run it over a group of assets. So let's start off with, okay, let's go with what we had the last time at profits above 10% or loss is 5%. And we'll click next. And we'll backtest. And while this is running, we don't have to stay here. We'll let it run in the background. Let's create another one. And all I did there was clone it. Brings up the exact same strategy. I'm going to leave the, okay, you know what? We'll leave the entry for this one again. And the next one we'll change the entry and leave the exit. So let's use here, close position at, let's say, trailing stop of 5%, and I'm going to run that. And let's quickly get to the next one. So I just went back, I cloned it, I'm letting it run in the background, and I'm going to try here with 10%. And let's just see what let's see the best strategy out of these three. And let's take that strategy and run it through a couple of assets. And let's see how this strategy would have performed. It's been quite, I mean, it's very volatile in cryptos. So, you know, anytime a price falls by 10%, we got a lot of movement. So let's just see here. Let's go to the My Strategies page. And we'll just go to the back tests. Okay, and we'll see them running here. These are the three we set up to run here. They're running in the background. And I'm going to take the best one and let's very quickly run it through a group of assets. So let's see what we got here. We'll find the best one and then we'll run it through. And guys, while I'm going through this, feel free to hit the chat, say hello. And if you have any questions, post them up here. So, okay, we're actually looking again like we went a little bit up. So this is looking a bit lower here. So it's okay, maybe I'm speaking too soon, but it looks like maybe this is going to be one of the best. And remember, to run a strategy of a group of assets, the easiest way at the moment is to just clone the strategy and just change the asset. Every word that appears in bold on the wizard, you can change with a click of a mouse, and I'll show you how we can do that really quickly. I just want to see which is going to be the best strategy for us to run. For anyone new here to Capitalize, while these are running, we have browse examples where you can see the performance for the last 30 days. You can use as templates, you can backtest them. For anyone new, these backtests are for 90 days. So this is for the last 3 months, 90 days yesterday, including weekends. And so let's see these run here. This had 120 trays at 60%. It's 115 at 79 and 65 at 110. I'm just going to go for this one at the moment. Even though this one is still running, that's almost double the amounts of hits. So out of these 3 strategies that we just created and we tried different exits on, I'm just going to take this one here and I'm going to clone it there. And just like we changed the exit, you can just change the asset. So we could go, let's try, okay, let's go ADA BTC, and we'll go ADA BTC again. Okay, and then we'll click next, next, and backtest. And don't stay on the page, keep creating the backtest. So I want to see how this performs over a bit of a larger group. Let's see. Okay, so Chris, welcome. Thanks for the question. Chris is asking, sometimes when backtesting, everything slows down. Any consideration to limiting the number that you can run at once? Chris, it all depends on the hits on your backtest, I think. You know, I don't find it slow when I'm running like this normally. I know there is a slight lag, but it shouldn't be so obvious. You should be able to run them, and you know, it shouldn't take too long. By the time we finish this, which will only be a couple of minutes, we should have some results from the earlier ones that we did. If you're noticing it really slow, guys, you know, screen record it and send it to me at support@capitalize.ai so we can take a look at it. Thanks, Chris. Okay, so we've done that, and let's test another 2. It's all, how long has that taken us? Like 3 minutes, maybe, somewhere there. XRP, USDT, and we'll go here. Okay, and next. So this one here, we're testing, and we'll do one more. Let's do one more so we actually have a fair sample of how the strategy has been performing in the last 30 days. We'll just go big BUSD, that's fine. Okay, and we'll click next, next, and backtest. Great, I hope that wasn't, I think we got it done fairly quickly. We tested it over, I think 5 assets there. And we can just go back to the My Strategies page. So let's have a look here. We're going to go to the backtest. Okay, we've got some that are still starting, some that are not. We did run quite a few there. And, you know, judging by the hits we had here, I mean, wow, that was almost 200 hits, 200 trades, 65. So this is a lot of hits that these strategies are running, and we've just created 5 of them. So we can actually have a look and see how the strategy would have performed on these assets. At the moment now, we've got one that's in the red. And this is the one we actually took the best out of these 3 here. 65, it's, well, it's not really the best. I'm just going via the P&L. Some traders might like more hits, and so on, a bigger sample size. Okay, so adders green, and okay, so the strategy over these 5, you know, is looking okay at the moment. This is actually completed. And remember, it's all up to you, traders. Remember that the P&L is it's gross, it's exclusive of trading fees, and so on. Let me just get my questions here. Okay, so traders, we're gonna let's see it. Let's see. Let me just click onto this here. Okay, that's still running. So let's leave these for the moment and let's let them run, and we'll see. Okay, this one's just started here. So BNB, okay, so that was 110, 37, 75. This is still running. That's at 132. Okay, so that's over a group of assets, and obviously this is an easy way for you traders to do it over a couple of minutes. Once you find, you know, or you create the strategy that you want, then this is a good way for you to test how the strategy would perform over a lot of assets, and maybe that, you know, may draw you to some other assets you may have not ever traded. But this is an easy way for you to test it. Traders, we got to get moving. Okay, we've got to get moving. So I'm going to leave these running. I will come back to it by the end, but they're all looking not too bad. But we need to get moving on to the next strategy. The next strategy, what we'll do is we'll try to change the beginning, the entry rather. Okay, so I'm going to let these run, and you traders can obviously do this on your Capitalize AI platform. But we're going to go to create new strategy. We got to get moving. So let's create a strategy, and we'll change perhaps something in the exit. Sorry, in the entry. So let's go if, okay, let's go if bake BUSD. 3 by 5 minute bar change is negative. Let's say by at least 2%. And if, let's get bake again. Let's say current minute volume is greater than, let's just go with the 20-minute average volume. 20 minutes average volume. Let's say, okay, let's start like, maybe what we should do is, let's start with 100. Well, let's start with 400, average volume by at least 400%. So we need a big volume spike there. And if bake, oh, let me get my syntax right. Let's say if the price of bake BUSD is below the moving average, let's try that. It's below the moving average, and let's use a 20, and we'll stick with 5 minutes because we did 3 by 5 minute bar of bake USD. Then buy 100 USDT worth of bake USD. So let's start with 400 there. Let's just close this position at a true. Oh, let me get my syntax correct there. Position at a trailing stop. Oh, okay. Of let's go 10% just for this simulation. Sorry, backtest. And while that's running, let's change something in the entry. So let's do, we'll clone it again, bring up the exact same strategy, and okay, let's change this to 300%. So let's see if this may be, if we're not too stringent on how great the volume spike should be, maybe we can get more hits. Let's just see how it works out. So that's at 300%. Let's go to 200%. And let's see a volume spike at double. So we'll just call it 100%. This is what you should be doing, traders. You don't have to stay on the page for them to run, just clone it. Sometimes it's best to name the strategy. So when you're looking down your list after setting up a couple of trades, you'll remember what they were. Oh, we're going to go back here. We're on 100, I think, 100%. Okay, we'll click next, and we will backtest. So let's go back to the My Strategies page to our backtest. These ones will be running in the meantime. So let's just have a look at the ones that we did before over the group of assets, and then we'll come back here. So we've got all our BUSD, we've got 100%, we've got 200%, 300 and 400. So let's see how that plays out. And okay, so we've completed here. Oh, it actually, okay. So this strategy that we optimized from originally from this strategy, where were we here? BNB. Okay, that's the current month high. Oh, that's 88. Okay, great. So this is the one here that we optimize here at 110, and these are the ones we tested. We can test it over more, and that's probably the best way to go, especially if you're looking to trade it. You want to test it before just to have an idea. And let's have a look here for this strategy now that we've done here. We've just changed, we've just adjusted the volume spikes. I suppose we could have adjusted a bit more, but that'll be up to you traders. Okay, so our first one has completed at 78 hits at 168 P&L. We look like we're getting higher. I don't know how much higher we're going to go here, but this is a good way for you to see perhaps what volume spikes you want to go in if you're looking at a strategy with volume. Traders, we've actually run over time. I just want to go through one more strategy with you that I have been running, and let's create that, and then we'll come back to this. We'll have a couple more minutes. So I'm going to go back to create new strategy while these are running. And just to show you here, let's just do the strategy on Matic. Let's go BUSD. So if Matic price is below a 3-hour high, and we'll say by at least 10, oh, let me actually get my syntax right before I do that, of Matic BSD by, let's say at least 10%, then buy 100 USDT worth of Matic BUSD. And we're going to click next here. And with this strategy, I'm going to go close position. You know what we'll do? We will, because we've given it 10%. Okay, let's go close position if Matic BUSD price is above the entry price by at least 8% or at loss of 5%. A loss of 5%. There we are. Traders, while I'm doing this last strategy, any questions you got, pop them onto the chat. I'm going to go ahead and backtest this. And while this is backtesting, let's go have a look at our previous results. And I'll just go back. Actually, for anyone that's new here to Capitalize, let me quickly explain this page. This is our beta version of backtest for 90 days previous from yesterday. This uses 1 minute data, open, high, low, and close. Here you have hits. A hit is a cycle, an entry, and exit, and each strategy needs to go through a cycle before starting the next. You have your P&L and then your control panel here. Then just to go over the page here, you have your entry and your exit. You'll have your hit chart here, which we'll go into a moment, and then you have all your trades, all the trades that would have been taken on the notification panel. You have units, executed, execution price, date, and time. And guys, let's quickly go back. I'm running out of time. So we'll go back to the My Strategies. Okay, so let's go have a look here. Okay, so this one here with 100% volume spike on the current minute, greater than the 20-minute average volume. 165 hits at 250 P&L, 131 at 155. And here, this is 300% at 174. Okay, so I think probably here looks like the most P&L, also the most hits as well. So it's something for you traders to take into consideration as well. And while I'm letting this Matic BUSD run here, let's just go into it. Perhaps it will. It should be close to finishing now. Let's just go through the hit chart, and traders, that's all the time I'm going to have for today. Pop me any questions right now if you have. Alternatively, if you guys have any queries or you need help with creating strategies, get me here in the in-app chat. I'm available most days of the week, so this is the best way to contact me. You can just send me a message. Great. So we'll just see this strategy with Matic BUSD play out. And that's going to be all from myself and the team here at Capitalize AI. Thanks so much for taking time out to be here. We really appreciate it. Good luck trading for the end of this week. And yeah, have a good weekend ahead, traders. Thanks so much.